Welcome to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the second gen Dodge. Today we have a 1997 Dodge 4-wheel drive with the 5.9 Magnum, and we have on this side the 2000 with the 5.2 V8. These trucks are going to be very different. Like I said, this one's 2-wheel drive, this one's 4-wheel drive, this one's a Laramine, this one's about as base as you can get with the no power windows, it's got no power locks. Very standard truck, very fancy truck. Anyways, guys, I'm going to give you a rundown of the pros and cons of these trucks and what you can expect from the 5.2 gasser and the 5.9 gasser. Let's get into this video, guys.
Visually, these trucks are very similar, except that this truck sits much higher than the 2-wheel drive, as you can expect. This one here came factory with this beautiful visor with the cab lights and the running boards. At least I think it was a factory thing. This is the Laramine, so it does have a little bit of specialties to it. So it has power windows, power locks. So since this is the 97 second gen, it does not have the updated interior. So it has these junk cup holders that are usually don't even slide out like that. This one's getting worn out. Usually it does not have a doubled in stereo, but I replaced that with a backup camera. I do have on the channel a how-to if you do want to put a double din in your second gen with a backup camera. I have a whole video on that. I'll put it up one of these corners here, there, and you can click on it and check it out. The best part that's on the 2000 is this immaculate grill here. As you can see on my truck, it is bubbling up in the corners. I will be robbing this off this truck to put it on this one, because this truck here is a flipper. The clear coat's peeling on it. It does have the nice chrome wheels like mine, in pretty good shape. But let's check out this interior and see what makes them different. As you can see from the start, crank windows, which work really good though. No power locks, all manual stuff. But as you can see, this interior is more rounded everywhere. All this stuff's rounded, and it's got the updated cup holder. Now I say updated, but don't get me wrong, like this one's still junk, but it is better than the interior that came in the first half of the second gens. But anyways, the cup holder will be right here, plops down, not very strong, but you can adjust and actually fit any size soda in there. Compared to that truck, you can't fit anything in them. It has the lighters here, and it also has a change compartment here, and this has the factory head unit, but you can get a conversion kit to put double dins in these as well. Don't have a how-to on that, but it's very similar to what I did to that truck. The dash is cracking in several areas, which honestly, this isn't too bad for a second gen, because most of them literally have holes in them, because these things were made so cheaply. Dodge decided not to spend money on the interior and the transmissions on these second gens, and we'll get in that later in the video. It is real common for these second gen Dodges for the headliner to be drooping in these corners on both sides. On my truck, the headliner's perfect, but that's because I replaced it and it had the similar issues as this one here. Both trucks will have the center console that does flip up like that, so you can get a third person in there if need be. Behind the seat has the cubbies on both sides. Mine actually has a net as well right here. This one looks like it's just missing. 5.9 Magnum, it's going to be based off the 360 engine. It's going to have 245 horsepower and around 330 foot-pounds of torque. Now the 5.2 Magnum, that is based off of the Mopar 318. It's going to have around 15 horsepower less. It'll be around 230 instead of 245, and the torque is going to be significantly lower at around 295 foot-pounds of torque. I'm not for sure how this truck pulls compared to this truck, but we'll find out later in the video. I've done a lot of pulling with the 5.9 Magnum, but not the 5.2 at all, so we'll hook my boat up later and just see how it does. The 5.2 is a quiet engine, but it sounds pretty good. I'm sure if you put exhaust on it, it'd sound really good. Let's check out the 5.9 and what she sounds like. This truck sounds much better, but but it does have exhaust and is the bigger motor. As you can see there, it has turn downs right after the rear end. Now this truck here, this two-wheel drive that I'm in currently, the 2000, we did pick this up as a flipper and it was sitting for 2 years prior to getting it. We had to replace the front bumper on it because the guy that had it previously hit 3 deer with this truck, and also the tires have flat spots. So I'm trying to make this the best review video possible based off the trucks we have, but this one it's hard telling because it does ride rough because of flat spots in the tires. But honestly, I think they would ride pretty similar. This one, for being the 5.2, it does seem like it up and gets. I think that's because it is the two-wheel drive truck, so it's much lighter. It doesn't have as much rotating parts. So I've been driving this truck for the past week, just testing it out. And you would think, for it being the 5.2, the smaller V8, that it would do better on gas than the 5.9. But honestly, it's only getting 1 to 2 miles per gallon more, which honestly, if that makes a big difference for you and you want less power, then go for it. But I would rather have the 5.9 that produces more power and just does slightly worse on gas, personally. Here's a little throwback of when we first saw this truck and my first reaction, how it drove and everything, right about here. Alright, so this seems like it'd be a decent truck. First and second gear is kind of weird, but I think she's going to come around. The heat, oh my goodness, it is hotter than a summer in Texas in here. Tires got a little bit of flat spots, so we got a little bit of shake and shimmy to her, but she might come around, I don't know. Overall, nothing to complain about, but this steering wheel, I don't know if some funny business went on in here or what, but it is sticky. Like, sticky. I'm talking melted cheese on the old fingers. All right, so we got the bumper on. That looks pretty good. Shined up the chrome. This grill is about immaculate. That might have to go on my truck. Right now, these tires are super feathered, so we're just moving the front ones back, rotating them. Maybe it'll calm down the bouncy ride. Currently, these back wheels are stuck. See how the 5.2 pulls a trailer. I kind of expected this, but I wasn't for sure. I wasn't going to knock the old 5.2, but at first takeoff pulling this trailer, it does not seem to like it, but once you get up to speed, it is pretty normal. I will have to say that the two-wheel drive does ride much nicer with a trailer than the four-wheel drive, but with the significantly less torque, like I said, this truck has around 295 foot-pounds of torque, while the 5.9 360 has upwards of 330 foot-pounds of torque. So it is significantly different. One thing to mention with these trucks, braking with a trailer is not good. It is rather terrible. Another thing, two-wheel drive gets stuck super easy. I just got stuck trying to back the trailer in right here. slinging dog turds all up in there. Now I'm currently in my 5.9, the 97. I'm not going to pull the trailer with this truck because I've done it so much, but I can tell you the 5.9 pulls tremendously better. So if you're looking at getting a second gen Dodge, I highly recommend the 5.9 over the 5.2, as it has a lot more torque and it does way better. And I'm sure in the long run, these things are known for having bad transmissions. That doesn't matter if it's the 5.2, the 5.9, or anything that Dodge made. The trannies are not the best. So to save yourself, it would be nice to have that extra torque if you are going to be pulling. If not, your transmission is going to just be shot, and in the long run, you will not be happy with it. Let's talk about some other issues that these trucks have. One thing I've noticed is the heater cores get clogged all the time, so you need to backwash them out, and then they'll work fine for a few weeks, and then you'll have to do it again and just continue to flush them out, because the heat just won't get hot. So that's one thing I've noticed. Like I said, transmissions are not good. Some people complain about the rear ends. I don't have anything negative to say about the rear ends. Also, these things will rust out if you do not keep the salt off of them during the winters. I try and park this truck. As you can see, it doesn't look that clean in this video, but usually this is a pretty clean truck. When I got it, it was at 98,000 miles, and now it's at around 107,000. But yeah, take good care of them and they'll treat you well. Overall, the second gen Dodge is a great truck. 5.2, 5.9, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you name it. But to conclude this video, I will say if I was going to buy one, I'd do exactly what I did and buy the 5.9 full-wheel drive, as it's going to get around way better in the snow, in any conditions, and it's going to run better. We just got 8 inches of snow here in Missouri. This truck did just fine in the snow. Now that two-wheel drive, I just got stuck back in the trailer down, as you guys saw. So yeah, if you live somewhere where you're going to get snow and be in poor conditions, get four-wheel drive. Just do it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. But anyways, don't be scared to go buy you a second gen. Just make sure it's the 5.9 full-wheel drive. No, I'm kidding. 5.2 is a good motor too. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're located in Missouri and you want a two-wheel drive 5.2 Dodge, this one's for sale. Let us know. It might be yours someday.